He's smart. He lives for football. He's passionate. He's big. He's got the arm. He's a playmaker. Even they can't screw this up. Cleveland takes Sam Darnold. Number 2, the New York Giants take Josh Rosen. Don't screw around. Pat Shurmur, the new coach, is an offensive genius. You give him Josh Rosen, you have got the guy that can go toe-to-toe with Carson Wentz 20 times in the next decade. Number 3, the Colts. Saquon Barkley, Penn State running back. Remarkable talent. Smart, tough, fast, elusive, can block, can catch. He is Ezekiel Elliott, but a grown-up. Number 4, Cleveland's going to take maybe the best player, the safest player to take in this draft, Minkah Fitzpatrick, a safety for Alabama. He's all-world. Number 5, Denver already acquires Kirk Cousins, so they're not going to get a quarterback. And they'll draft Calvin Ridley, a wide receiver from Alabama. Jets would like to take a quarterback, but in windy New York, you can't go with Baker Mayfield. They're going to draft their Lawrence Taylor. Bradley Chubb is a defensive end. Tremendous pass rusher from North Carolina State. Tampa Bay's got a lot of good players. I think they go out and get Quentin Nelson, a guard from Notre Dame, who is, many believe, the Zach Martin of the draft. Number 8 is Chicago. Christian Kirk, wide receiver, Texas A&M. I know it's 2 receivers in the top 10. I call them icing. They fit both these situations. San Francisco 49ers. They will go get Ohio State's Denzel Ward at corner. And finally, I have Oakland taking a player that virtually none of you watch. Marcus Davenport, a defensive end. And there you have my mock draft. Say goodbye to Takeout and hello to HelloFresh. Healthy ingredients, easy to follow recipes, shipped free, limited time, $30 off your first box. HelloFresh.com/Colin. Nick Wright is joining us in 10 minutes. I have a foolproof system for not only quarterbacks, but stockbrokers and actors and real estate agents. I think it works with every single industry. Take somebody's best year out. Anybody can have one great year. Take somebody's worst year out. People get sick. People have family crisis. And what remains is what you are. I've worked with 30 years in this business. I've seen a lot of people get great jobs. And I've seen a lot of great people have bad years. Divorce, they deal with health scares. But if you take the rest of their career, that's what they are. Don't be in love with a huge year. Don't bury somebody because of a bad year or a bad moment. So the Minnesota Vikings are a really smart franchise. And they said yesterday, we're not going to franchise tag Case Keenum. That's the report. Basically, they're saying, we like him, but go test the market. We're not going to pay you a ton and franchise you. It's the right move by the Minnesota Vikings, a very, very well-run franchise. They have built one of the most stable, consistent rosters in the NFL. I told you last year, it may not have the most good players. It has the fewest bad players. That roster's fantastic. It has the fewest bad players of any roster in the NFL. It's just got a bunch of B-plus to B-minus NFL players. Not a ton of A's, not a lot of C's. And what the Minnesota Vikings did is what all teams should do. Let's take Case Keenum. Take out his best year this past year, 21 TDs, 7 picks, 68%. Take out his worst year, that was with the Rams. And you are left with the truth about Case Keenum. He completes 57% of his throws, 15 touchdowns, 9 picks, and a passer rating under 80. That's what Case Keenum is. Matt Ryan, take out his MVP year, 38 TDs, 7 picks, 117 passer rating. Nobody got hurt. Kyle Shanahan. Take out his worst year, 22 TDs, 14 picks. It was his second year in the league. And what you're left with is what Matt Ryan is, a B to a B-plus quarterback who completes 63% of his throws, gives you about 25 touchdowns, 13 picks, not even 2-1, and a passer rating slightly above 90. Let's look at Cam Newton. Take out the MVP year, and also take out the year when he had 19 TDs, 14 picks, and completed only 53% of his throws. And you are left with exactly what Cam Newton is, a guy that completes 59% of his throws, gives you 21 TDs, but a lot of picks, 14, and a passer rating mid-80s. That's exactly what Cam Newton is. it is tough sometimes when you don't have a lot of body of work to deal with. If a guy's only been in the league for 2 years, Kirk Cousins, by the way, hasn't been around very long. Take out Kirk Cousins' best year when the team was healthy. They had a Deshaun Jackson, and they had Pierre Garçon, and they had a very good offensive line. And take out his worst year. And what you're left with, Kirk Cousins, is a much better quarterback than Case Keenum. He's a bigger, stronger version with a passer rating at about 97. That's better than Case Keenum. This works with every industry. Don't elevate people off one great year in any business, and don't crush them on a bad year. People go through divorces. They go through health scares. They have bad bosses. People also have great bosses. People also sometimes are elevated by others around them. Take Don Cheadle, the actor. Just take a random actor, Don Cheadle. What's the best movie he's ever done? Probably Hotel Rwanda. What's the worst movie Don Cheadle's ever done? I'd say Volcano. And you know what you're left with? Crash, Traffic, Iron Man, Boogie Nights. It's a good actor. You can take out his best, and no actor, it's not linear, no actor goes good, good, great, great, great. Tom Hanks has bombs. Take out Tom's best, Philadelphia maybe. Take out Tom's worst. He's got a couple of bombs. And what you're left with is Bridges of Spies. What you're left with is Saving Private Ryan. What you're left with is remarkable films for a remarkable actor. Case Keenum's a heck of a great backup or an occasional starter where if everything's right and the defense is great and they've got 2-star receivers and a good offensive line, that's what the Vikings had. It should be noted that division, Aaron Rodgers got hurt, the Bears had a rookie quarterback, and the Lions were poorly coached and fired their guy. It all worked out for Case. I think he's the best backup in the league and could be an occasional starter. But the Vikings made the right move. Tip of the cap to Minnesota. Christine with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Where are you right now currently on the possibility of LeBron coming to the Lakers?
Well, did you watch the Lakers last night, Christine? It was a remarkable performance over a gifted Atlanta Hawks roster.
Your point?
I don't think they're the favorite to get LeBron.
Oh, okay, so the LeBronzometer is back to being dead?
No, it's not dead,
Okay.
but I do think in his heart, he moved from Miami to Cleveland. I think in his heart he loves Cleveland. He loves the people. It means something to him.
So now you think he's staying?
Well, no. I think they are the leader in the clubhouse, but, he gets swept by Golden State. LeBron has his mood swings.
Yes, he does. Well, there has been a lot of talk about LeBron and where he might go. So Steph Curry was on CNN and was asked if he'd be concerned if LeBron did go to the Lakers, and here's his reaction.
Obviously, I feel like our team is a team to beat. We got some work to do, but I'm pretty confident in ourselves. So he has, I guess the NBA world is his oyster. He can figure out what he wants to do next year. But right now, we're trying to win a championship, man, and it's fun right now.
It looks like he's trying to contain his laughter. He thinks that's hysterical.
I'll tell you what, though, I will say this. Now, again, it's the second half of the NBA season, so people do tighten up the screws. Lonzo's now back for the Lakers. They're fun to watch. When I watch that Laker team, they are up and down the court. They like each other. It's joyful. They're not squawking at the refs. Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Lonzo, Julius Randle. I will say this. They're not a great team. I could argue they're not a good team. But when I watch the Lakers, that is a group of guys, young players, who love playing basketball.
That's fair.
That's all they are right now, but that's something.
But it doesn't work with LeBron. That just doesn't mesh. A bunch of young, raw
that
guys
argument can be made,
and
yes.
LeBron, I just don't see it happening.
It would blow the world up. You do know people's heads would explode.
I don't think so. We've talked about it so much.
If LeBron went to the Lakers, oh my sister would talk about it.
Yeah, but in what way? Like, LeBron went to the Lakers, and then 2 weeks
She'd
later...
she'd call and go, what do you make of that? Whenever my late mother would call and go, What do you make of what Dennis Rodman is doing? I'd be like, then it's a national story. When my mom cared, it was a national story.
A lot of that stuff wasn't even basketball related, what Dennis Rodman was doing. Rob Gronkowski has been pretty quiet since he kind of hinted that maybe he was thinking about retirement. There's also been talk about him joining WWE, and now he has emerged on Twitter. This is the first we're hearing from him. And so let's try to look into these tweets that he put up. First, he said, "Foresee your own future, control your own temptations, and your destiny will not just be reached, it will just be starting." Where did he get that? And then he wrote, "There are no limits."
Oh, God. He's going Deepak Chopra on us?
Yeah, he's getting pretty deep. If I want to look into this a lot, I could think maybe he's talking about WWE. Like, he's got some projects going on that are past what some people would call his limits, meaning football.
Yes.
So maybe Gronk is really taking this seriously.
I do think.
Ronda Rousey did some WWE.
And very popular.
That did really well.
Yes, very popular.
Viewership was up.
Yes.
So maybe Gronk saw this and felt like, hey, if she's bringing in numbers, I could do the same. By the way, if I were in the ring for wrestling against Ronda Rousey, I would be even more terrified because you know that she actually can punch.
Yeah, like this is not.
She will knock you out if she wants to, but I don't think that's allowed.
No.
To like a real knockout.
Yeah, like violence. No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's theatrical.
Not real violence.
Yeah, the presentation's very theatrical.
Right. And finally, it's time for The Real Deal, brought to you by Carl's Jr. and Hardee's $5 All-Star Meals. And today's Real Deal is Russell Wilson, who is spending some time with the New York Yankees since he was traded from the Rangers to New York. So he took part in, batting practice, baseball.
And he hit a bunch of home runs.
Yeah, hit some home runs. The Yankees now have his rights. This whole thing is very bizarre to me. But here's Russell Wilson on his day of batting practice.
Oh, I want to hear this.
It's definitely one of the coolest things I've ever done. You know, ever since I was a young kid, I always dreamed to be a Yankee. I always watched him. My favorite player was Derek Jeter. You know, growing up and watching him and his professionalism, how he played the game and the competitiveness he played with, the passion, the love, the joy that he played with every day. Watching some of the greatest players in the world. I tried to get number 3, but I think somebody had it already. So it's been pretty cool. So I'm wearing number 73. Number 7 was my baseball number in high school, and number 3, obviously, my football number and everything else. So it's pretty cool to put on the jersey for the first time.
It looks like he's taking this really seriously.
By the way, he can play baseball.
Yeah, I know. I'm just confused. Like, you play football. You're a quarterback.
Goulet.
How exciting that he gets to also play for the Yankees.
I'll say it again, Goulet. If he was good enough to make the team.
You think you should quit
I'm just
football?
saying. If he was good enough to be a New York Yankee and not take a beating because the Seahawks O-line's embarrassingly bad, would you consider it is all I'm asking?
Well, you make a lot more money, right?
Well, not in his first contract. It would be a risk. I mean, obviously, he's a Hall of Fame level football player.
Can we, I want to know what kind of bat he was using. I just want to know if it was the same bat that all the other guys have to use. Yeah. You think so?
Oh, absolutely. He's not like an aluminum bat. No.
I don't know.
No, he's a real baseball player. He can really play. He was drafted.
A lot of home runs. I know he was drafted.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys are drafted.
I know. But a lot of guys don't play football at a Hall of Fame level at quarterback. He's a unique American athlete.
I just don't get it. Like, what's he going to do?
I think he just likes it.
He just wants to go to batting practice. Yeah. It's just fun for him.
Just fun for him.
What an amazing thing to just know that you're that great of an athlete that you can play 2 professional sports and choose.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Okay, this is going to get rambunctious. My friend Nick